Les Ferdinand, please welcome Les Ferdinand. Well, Les, I guess, firstly, the obvious question before we start talking about this facility is you made the decision to step down from your role as Director of Football after 8 years with the club. Why did you make that decision?
I think it was a difficult one, but when you look at this facility here and everything it means to Queen's Park, there's a lot of positivity. And I felt with me and my role, there was a lot of negativity going around the place, and I didn't want that for the club, I didn't want that for myself. So I thought it was the best thing to do was to, I'm not sure if people heard that, but yeah, I felt I didn't want the negativity for myself, I didn't want it for the football club. So I thought it was the best thing to step down. It was a hard decision because there's a lot of people at this football club that I love. And I genuinely mean that. There's some really good people at this football club and I wanted to take it forward. But I just felt now was the right time, moving into this facility, for Gareth and his staff to start on the front foot on a positive note.
I know that you have worked tirelessly behind the scenes in terms of the decisions that you've made. How difficult was it in terms of making that call? Because like you say you were super determined and the work that you were putting in, and I have to say one of the things that I noticed from the moment you arrived was in the standards that you brought in terms of standards of how people treat each other. I remember one player walked into the old training ground and he didn't say hello to people as he walked past, and Les called him into his office and said, when did you stop using manners? And it just created a culture within the training ground where respect was the most important thing, and you created so much in that respect. But then the last 12 months have obviously been a difficult season, or certainly the last 6 months. And did that take its toll on you? Did that make you make that decision? Because you said when in your statement that it's about making the best decision for the club. And did you feel that decision was the best decision for the club?
Yeah, without a shadow of doubt. All the things you spoke about, in terms of my decisions, one thing I will say is it was never a decision I made on my own. It was collective. So I spoke to the board on all the decisions I made, and we all made the right decision. It wasn't based on what Les Ferdinand says. It was based on what was right for the football club, and that's all I've ever done while I've been here, is make decisions that I think is right for the football club. Whether people out there thought they were right or wrong, it was the decision were in the best interest of the football club, and that's all I've ever done while I've been here.
And just in terms of the last few months, and I would say that was challenging, did that hurt? Did you find that difficult?
Yeah, of course. I don't think everybody wants to be liked, but I understand when you step into this position, you're going to be critiqued about some of the decisions you make, and I expected that, of course. But then some of the abuse becomes very, very personal, and I don't just have to think about myself. I have to think about my kids. I have to think about my family, who I'm not on social media, so I don't see none of it. I know what people say. When people say to me, "Don't listen to any of the socials," I know something's been said. But I've got I wouldn't say I ain't got teenage kids. They're older than that, but they're on social media. And sometimes in life you make decisions not based around yourself, for the people around you, and that's what the decision was. This is why I've made this decision.
Okay, and one of the things that Les did say when we were organising this event was that he was happy to do a Q&A. He understood people wanted to hear from him on the back of his decision, but he said, I don't want this to detract from this day and what this represents for the future of QPR. So a word on that, as a player you weren't too bad. You saw some nice training facilities. In terms of this facility, how does that compare? How impressive is it from the perspective of a player?
I mean, unfortunately, when I was a player here, we never had a home. We was scattered all over different places. We were places for a couple of years and then somewhere else for a couple of years and so on and so forth. But now, when you look at this, one of the things I did say right at the beginning when we started building this was, when you've got kids coming through a system, it doesn't matter what system it is at a football club, they want to see the finish line. You start a race, there's a finish line. Unfortunately for the kids at this football club, for a while they've not been able to see that finish line, because they don't get to mingle with the first team, they don't see the first team. Now they're going to see them here every single day, and so they've got something to aim for, they've got something that they can see and that's tangible. So this facility now, I mean, in terms of, I said a little while ago, just before the end of the season, we probably got the best facility in the Championship. and then Leicester got relegated and Southampton. And I know they've spent millions and millions on their facilities. So you know, this is outside of them two teams. I think this is the best facility in the Championship. And you know, I wish QPR. You know, someone said to me outside, "Once a Ranger, always a Ranger." That will never change. You know, I love this football club, and I just wanted to see it be successful. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get to where I wanted it to get to while I was here. But that's not going to stop me from supporting you all the way to get to where you want to go, and that's back to the Premier League. So I want to wish Gareth, I want to wish the board, because as Lee said downstairs, I think you've got some fantastic people in this football club on the board, and they want nothing but success. So when I see the things, don't just hurt me, it hurts when I see the things that are said about the board members as well, because I know how hard they try to get things right. And sometimes we've made the wrong decision based on the supporters because we're trying to appease them. And that hurts when I see the decisions that they've made for these supporters, and to be chastised in the way they are sometimes, it's difficult to take.
Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon.